I believe you said not supposed to. I believe you said like Yavapai not supposed to share with a federal agency. Supposed being the operational word here. How do you ensure that that is in fact the way it's done? What security is there actually beyond writing some words on a page and calling it a policy and saying you're not supposed to give this to another agency in a daisy-chained fashion? Can you speak to how can you absolutely be sure that Sedona information doesn't daisy-chain to Yavapai County and on to another federal or state agency?
Are you asking me or the chief?
I'm looking at you, sir.
Okay. No,
it's Mr. Chandler, right?
Yes, Chandler.
Thank you for coming, by the way.
No, absolutely. And so, again, this is where the auditing and transparency features come in. You are going to be able to see how your system is being used. And if there is an agency that is not utilizing it according to your community's values, you have the ability to cut off that access to that agency.
Isn't that a little too late at that point?
Well, that, again, Flock does not make these decisions on behalf of communities.
Right.
We give you the tools to make sure that your community safety never has to come at the expense of community values. Okay. So you have the ability to decide if you want to share with the county or if you don't want to share with the county out of those concerns. And we have the tools to make that happen. And we've also created the auditing tools to make sure that those you are sharing with, if they do decide to use it in a way that does not align with your community values, that you have the ability to immediately rescind access to them.
Why wait until until the trust has been violated? Why is it an auditable matter as opposed to a can't happen in the first place?
Because
matter of the technology, the programming itself.
And that's in regards to your police department's relationship with other law enforcement agencies. And so, again, if you as a community decide that's too big of a risk, it's completely within your right to just not have that risk there in the first place. And you can have it just for Sedona. You can tailor your sharing however you want.
Okay, but Commander, you've already shared, or Chief, that the information is going to be shared within the municipalities as well as the county police departments for Yavapai and Coconino. So if that were to be the case, then from an audit perspective, what happens? Do you get an automated email that says, hey, this just got daisy chained? Or do you have to manually, whenever you feel like it? I'm not trying to be flippant, by the way, but when you feel like it, to say, hey, I'm going to run the audit program right now and see if any of this has been daisy chained in a way that we don't approve?
One thing I can say just from our product end, because we're always trying to improve transparency and accountability for oversight bodies and for law enforcement. In the coming months, I know maybe this quarter or the next quarter, we are going to be having a automatic audit tool. So if there is a search of your system by a agency that you are sharing with, and there is a search that goes against your community's values, and you can tailor that, your agency would get an automatic alert, so you wouldn't have to wait until the audit. So that's another feature. Again, it's an in-the-moment thing, but that's another way that we're continually trying to innovate to make sure that oversight bodies and your agencies don't have to wait until a quarterly audit. But again, the other questions are...
Okay, but if you can flag it for audit, then why can't you just stop it before it becomes an audit finding? Why can't the technology just do that?
We're continually innovating, and I know for states like for California and Colorado that have statewide sanctuary laws, we have implemented that very feature where those sorts of searches will create a red flag that will alert the administrator. We don't currently have that at the local level, but we do have it at the state level for statewide sanctuary policies.
Okay.
Councilor Fultz, if I might, just for a moment, we haven't made any decisions as far as the cameras are on as far as they were installed. We have not used them yet. We haven't opened them to anybody. So these decisions can still be made if direction's given that, you have some different opinions that the majority agree on. My suggestion is we start with just our neighboring agencies as I, proposed, and we use a trial period so that we have, 3 to 6 months that we can really look at how that's being utilized with the adjacent agencies in both counties. But decisions haven't been made. People can't look at our cameras yet. We're not giving any information out. Officers don't have access right now since they were installed. Commander Dowell, to what he first said, they are on, but they're not being utilized. We're not doing anything with that information. Nobody else is using it. So this is where, after this session, we are going to put forth how we want our policy and procedures to go. And if concerns are that another county might give that information out, you know, we can certainly look at with legal if there's something that we want to give to people as they ask for our information, that there's a signed agreement. You know, if there's a contact point for somebody else to reach out, we can determine more strict procedures if that's what we need to do. But I would say we're really trying to figure out in the 3 to 6 months who we actually want to even have access to it, and what that looks like. So that's where we were just starting with that immediate area.
And I know through my research that, especially in California, before they share information, they do a legal document that says, you know, Sedona, Cottonwood, you have access to this, and you can only use it, obviously, in this way. Because I saw quite a few of those agreements from California, to where they said, hey, you're entering into an agreement here, and you'll use it properly. And again, we all know what that says, but it is another document that says we're not just turning a button on. If you chose to, you could say, no, you'll go through the legal process, and they'll sign a document allowing for that.